This week we're going to talk about how abusers Robert Bryce Kelly was Bruce and Mandla Maphumulo went to the same acting school. Now you're going to wonder why I say that, but if you watch the interviews or clips from the interviews with both of them this past week, you'll understand exactly why I say this. So let's start with Mampintsha. Mampintsha is one of the members of popular Durban Kwaito group Big Naz and the partner and often collaborator of sensation Babes Wodumo. The pair this past week were catapulted into the spotlight after a clip from a live stream of Babes Wodumo's Instagram went viral on social media. In that clip, Mampintsha can be seen beating Babes in presumably what is their bedroom at home. Now, these two made headlines about 8 or 9 months ago when Metro FM DJ Masachaba Ndlovu outed Babes Wodumo as a victim of abuse live on air. And a lot of people, since this news on the video came out, said we owe Masachaba an apology. Absolutely not. We do not owe Masachaba shit because she put this young woman's life in danger. She might have been trying to help her, but the noble intentions that she may have had do not change the fact that she put this girl's life in danger, because an abuser exposed is the most unhinged and dangerous person in existence. That man could have done Lord knows what to her, and thank goodness nothing happened. And unfortunately she went back to him, and presumably the abuse continued because she put this on video. But that's not to say that we owe Masachaba anything. But moving forward, this video went viral. People tried to get hold of both of them the following day, but they were MIA. Ministers and other celebrities came out with statements, and eventually her family tweeted from her account saying she's safe, but she's not in a good space right now and she just needs some time before she comes out and says anything. With that said, her dad went on air on ENCA and did an interview and exposed what was happening between the pair, because the first time it was exposed, a lot of the people were like, doesn't the family know what's happening? Oftentimes the family knows what's happening, but until the victim of abuse or the partner in the relationship who's being abused is ready to leave, there's really not much the family can do about it, honestly. But with that said, her dad went on air on ENCA and explained that Mampintsha had been abusing her, accused him of practicing witchcraft on the young woman, making it impossible for her to leave. And in a place like KZN and in other places in South Africa, there are groups of people who practice this, believe in it, and use it in their everyday lives. So with that said, her dad said he was using a kind of binding spell to keep her tethered to him in some weird voodoo ceremony. Her dad also went on to allege that Mampintsha had misused over R1 million of her proceeds from being featured on the Black Panther soundtrack. And with that said, he said there have been previous instances where he abused her, and that he had told the family that nothing will happen to him because he had a few police officers in his pocket to ensure that no legal action was ever taken against him.
We want to thank the broader South African community, political leaders of various political parties, artists, the media, and all South Africans for the support given to our daughter at this time of our desperate need.
With that said, eventually his ass got found sometime yesterday when he got arrested by police, now that her family had come to her defense and said that she was going to go press charges, which she reportedly did go do. The police arrested him and released him on 2,000 Rand bail. So annoying, but it's the criminal justice system. With that said, he got released, and outside the court when he got released, he got a whole press conference to tell his side of the story. In a video where we have clear evidence that this man is abusive, his side of the story doesn't matter for shit. But he went and did the exact same thing we all expected him to do: a character assassination of Babes, and a character assassination specifically tuned to people who are his supporters and people who believe in certain things where he comes from. So people who are staunch traditionalists, people who are patriarchs, both men and women, and people who believe a woman should act a certain way. With that said, he went on to allege that she often drinks, she disappears for days, because as his partner and as his woman, she's supposed to be tethered to the home and always be available, and he's supposed to know where she is. So that's part of his character assassination, making people feel and believe that this girl is like a young rogue woman with a drinking problem, and he claimed that she hit him first, because that is what a lot of abusers do when they want people to come on their side. They want to do that she hit me first defense, so I was justified in hitting her. So he did that. But what disgusted me the most is these journalists who A, gave this man a 20-minute platform to character assassinate this woman, and B, laughed with him when he was making these horrible jokes about her. What kind of journalist are you that's gonna laugh at a guy who insinuates that his girlfriend is a whore and that's why he beat her up? This is my plea to SANEF. You guys need to make the South African National Editors Forum, you guys need to make training available for local journalists.
Because she's been case nami bengafuna ukuvula case ngahamba ngabhala istatement akazosibiza ngani OB because bengicabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe ngisazokwazi ukuphinde ngikhulume naye ngimtshele uyazi bani indaba kaTshwane akekho right uBabes mayiphuzile ifamily yazi akekho right mayiphuzile abantu esisebenza nabo bayazi uBabes akekho right mayiphuzile buza ukuthi uBabes wenzani mayiphuzile bazokutshela abantu nofakazi ushaya ngisho driver wasisebenza nabo uyalo neviolence. So your violence le mayilethela kumina and mina ngibuya kule ntathe ngibuya kuyona yama case yokuthi thoke abuse kufanele ngenze njani ngishaye kaningi lapha endlini ngangibhula ngeke ngizilo ngibhula uBabes ngenduku noma sengikhonisa ngireport kubazali still bangakwazi ukusiza.
Now we get to the reason why I feel he went to an acting school. He played the victim. He came up to court with not one but 2 moon boots on his legs, insinuating that he had very serious injuries to the bones in his legs and trying to make it seem like Babes was responsible for these injuries. When it comes to moon boots, they are only issued under specific circumstances, so he's going to have to now prove that he went to the hospital and sought serious medical attention and often had a procedure done on him before that moon boot was issued. Otherwise, dude just passed by the Dis-Chem pharmacy and bought like some moon boots and was like, oops, my legs were broken and she did this. And that's like a horrible thing. So hopefully Babes' legal team is on this shit, because what he did was absolutely horrible. With that said, his defense that he only hit her because she hit him will never fly. I am sorry, that shit will never fly. Did you guys see how hard he hit her in that video clip? He could have cracked her skull as big as he is in relation to how tiny she is. And if she's as belligerent as he says, the very same reason why you people ask her why she didn't leave the relationship when she found out he was abusive, why didn't he leave when he found out she was abusive? That will never be the kind of question to ask in situations like this. There are a number of questions to ask, but that certainly isn't it. Our next inductee into the Abuser Acting Hall of Fame is Robert Bruce Kelly, who recently sat down for an interview with CBS's Gayle King to discuss the charges that have recently been brought against him, the sexual abuse charges that are linked to the charges that were initially brought against him years ago that he was acquitted of. More victims of his have come forward with various forms of evidence that have been released recently and will be used now in this case. Robert sat down with Gayle and was, oh my god, unbelievably emotional for somebody so guilty, which is something that often abusers will do, especially after they abuse you. They are known for crying, praying, invoking God, anything that they can think of to get you to believe that this is not who they are and what they want to do. Granted, some people can get rehabilitated, but oftentimes this emotional side that they show is a manipulation tactic to disarm their victim, who in most cases is either ready to leave or ready to be done with them or ready to report them. So with that said, he appeared in this interview with Gayle and he was crying and he stood up and was like waving his arms and just whining about how horrible this is and how he would never do these things, and asked very weird questions. Like, made it seem like it's a common sense thing for people to wonder why he would want to hold somebody hostage. When you're dealing with rapists and abusers, oftentimes we as people love to say, I don't get why they would do this. You're a normal person. Obviously, you will not get why they do this. There's a lot of things that are going on in the mind of an abuser or a rapist or a pedophile that wouldn't be going on in your mind. So of course you wouldn't get what these people are doing. So for him to say, why would I hold these people hostage? An interesting tactic on his part, but still doesn't explain why he would do something like this or explain away what he did, given the fact that there is evidence. The most recent evidence is a 40-minute or 50-minute video of him raping and sodomizing a 14-year-old girl, making her look into the camera and coaching her through the whole experience. A normal person wouldn't get that, but he still did it, especially if there's evidence, like with the Mampintsha situation. There's evidence that he hit his girlfriend. So they can try all they want in trying to explain away what it is that they've done, but there's evidence. With that said, take a look at how R. Kelly wilded out in the interview.
They are still talking about you with underage girls. Do you still sit here and say you have never been with underage girls? Can you really say that?
I sit here and say this. I had 2 cases back then that I said in the beginning of the interview that I would not talk about because of my ongoing case now.
Okay.
Right? Okay, fair enough. But I will tell you this. People are going back to my past, okay? That's exactly what they're doing. They're going back to the past, and they're trying to add all of this stuff now to that, to make all of the stuff that's going on now feels real to people.
But the past is relevant with you with underage girls.
Absolutely no, it's not.
Why?
Because for one, I beat my case. When you beat something, you beat it.
You were acquitted.
We can't double jeopardy me like that. You can't. It's not fair. It's not fair to nobody. When you beat your case, you beat your case.
But I'm not talking about the one case in which you were acquitted. I'm talking about the other cases where women have come forward and said, R. Kelly had sex with me when I was under the age of 18. R. Kelly was abusive to me, emotionally and physically and verbally. R. Kelly took me in a black room where unspeakable things happened. This is what they're saying about you.
Not true.
These aren't old rumors.
Not true. Whether they're old rumors, new rumors,
why would they
future
say this
rumors,
about you?
Not true.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
how stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were holding...
That's stupid, guys. Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle. Robert, stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
And that's it for this week's episode. So I would love to hear from you guys. Please tweet me at MediaGirl_ZA. Follow me on Instagram at MediaGirl_ZA or Media Girl Chronicles on Facebook. I'd love to hear your 2 cents on this. Also comment in the comments below and make sure to subscribe and check out my other episodes.